like behind you. The one behind you.
Right.
Yeah, just put it to the ceiling. You see, much better. There you go.
All right.
Check it out now, because it's supposed to go on.
It would be here on LinkedIn. Yeah. Okay. Should be on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter. Oh, here we go.
Do I need to be mic'd up?
We're live.
No mic for me?
No, I think we're good. We have a great mic system here. All right.
I'm excited.
Me too. We're just testing here.
So we are live.
We're live testing.
Okay, good.
It's a live
Hey,
test.
everyone.
We're getting ready over here.
That's right, for Warrior Women in Business. I love that title.
I know, isn't it good?
It's great. It's
You're
amazing.
officially a warrior woman / man
yes,
in business.
Yes, I don't mind the title. I'm good.
This is gonna be a great show. So
Yeah.
for everybody that's live, just go get yourselves a nice cup of tea or
That's right.
a freezing water.
Make sure my bio sounds good.
It's not hard to butcher your bio.
Oh boy.
It's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
We gonna do a procedure today? No, I'm just kidding.
I
No live
don't
procedures.
mind. I can do procedures.
I don't want to be a guinea pig.
I do procedures every day.
I know you're like the steadiest hand in the universe. I took the syringes off the table because it was making me a little nervous.
You're good. Nice and
Alright.
even.
Right?
Very good.
Is Instagram on? I think we're ready to roll, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Everyone? All right. Well, welcome everyone to Warrior Women in Business episode 43 live in person finally.
In person. Finally.
From Diamond Works Medspa in New York City. I want to talk a little bit about Warrior Women in Business,
Okay.
and then I'm going to get right into my very VIP special guest today, Carl Clarke.
Yes.
So Warrior Women in Business, for those of you that don't know us, which would be ridiculous, we are a women's organization that is really shaped to help women, particularly female entrepreneurs, build their businesses and grow their careers. So how do we do this? Well, we bring in experts in female beauty, experts in women in business, and experts are kind of across the pond on how women can really help each other and grow in their businesses through the podcast, through our event series, through our fashion line, and through other programs that we provide in branding and marketing services to female entrepreneurs. And I'm really happy today to be sitting here live in episode 43 of Warrior Women in Business. My name is Jasmine Sandler. You can find Warrior Women in Business and Jasmine Sandler on all your social media channels. And today we're focused on something that's a very, very important topic that I've been coming across in my travels as a speaker in female entrepreneurial branding. And that is female beauty and age discrimination. So I was very happy to have my guest on today, Carl Clarke, to talk about what it's like to work with women that are aging, that are coming into complications when they're looking to get their next job or sell a product or service when in a lot of cases younger women are beating them out. And there's absolutely no reason for that, right? Because we have all the experience. So I asked Carl, I said, could you be on the podcast and talk about, in your 20 years of experience, right? In the medical industry, in the medical spa industry, in the medical aesthetics industry, what it's like to work with women, and how is it that you consult with them, not just on the medical aesthetics piece, but really it's an inner beauty, right? They come to you and they're looking for help. They're looking for solutions. They need to look their best, right, and feel their best. So Carl, could you talk to us a little bit about, have you come across this age discrimination issue? What are some of the things that you hear from your patients?
Well, first, thank you, Jasmine, for having me on the show. I've heard a lot about Warrior Women in Business, and I do love the title. I think it speaks volumes. But I will say, age discrimination among women is something that will never stop. Right? there's an inherent bias that we all have. And with that inherent bias, what it means is we all discriminate against someone at some point of time for something or the other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So women also discriminate against women as well, and men do against men as well. But what happens with women is a woman's beauty is attached to her psyche.
Absolutely.
And how she feels about herself. So it hits harder if she misses an opportunity based upon her age. Men not as much, because men typically grace a little more, age a little more gracefully for
Absolutely.
many reasons.
That's right.
That hopefully I can get into today.
Sure.
But age discrimination among women, it is there, it will never stop. But what you have to understand is it doesn't just happen to you, and at some point you will do it to someone else, and everyone who's discriminated against you as a female will eventually be discriminated also. So it's a never-ending cycle.
Right.
There's some things in life that we cannot change now. That takes many, many years.
Yeah.
So in the meantime, it's best not to focus on the negativity and use it to your advantage, because every criticism comes with some positive light at the end of the tunnel.
Absolutely.
So if someone is discriminated against age, I would stand back, obviously. Maybe you don't want to work for that company that's doing this, but really self-reflect and take a look at what occurred and where you can use that as an advantage. I find that many women have the sense of eternal beauty until they see or someone mentions to them that something should be done. What happens if that is the case, then I believe you're limiting and hurting yourself even more so, because we are critical of ourselves and other people are critical of us. We can't stop people from being critical.
That's right.
Of course,
It's human nature.
it's going to happen.
Absolutely.
But what you can't do is to have it beat you down. You can't let it beat you. You gotta fight.
Right.
And if you're a warrior woman in business, you're gonna take that as your strength and you're gonna use it as a stepping stone to move forward.
Absolutely. I love that. Right.
Yeah.
And I talked about the importance of like owning your experience. Right. So when women come to you, and you can talk a little bit also about what you do here at Diamond Works, you know, if they're in that place, right? Like, you know, they, like for me, they need to get up in front of an audience or they need to network, right? And they talk about, you know, their kind of concerns, their problems and their goals. What's your approach to them in terms of consulting them and talking to them about how they should look at their beauty moving forward?
That's a very, very interesting question. Looking at the beauty moving forward is something that always has to occur. We're changing, we're always aging.
Absolutely.
Aging doesn't end, aging doesn't stop. Whether it's your hair, your face, your skin, your muscle strength, your endurance.
Yeah.
So it never stops.
Yeah.
Finding the options to solve some of the small problems before it becomes bigger. Let's talk about where to start.
Yep.
The skin ages, and the skin is made up of multiple layers. I'm not going to bore you with the details on the skin, but the skin thins and it elongates, it stretches. When it stretches, you find small lines, find wrinkles. When that's happening, that is a sign that something negative is occurring gradually.
Yeah.
When that starts to happen, you must reevaluate your skincare routine. So it starts at home. The one thing I find that most women do is have a plethora of skincare products
Absolutely.
on their bathroom
Absolutely.
countertops, on the bedroom countertops, dressers, and using maybe only 20% of them, or using them as they remember. The thing is that we're not pharmacists, and you're not a pharmacist. You don't know the intricacies of the ingredients in those products.
That's right.
And the sensitivity it can be causing to your
That's
skin.
right. That's
and
right.
the aging it can be
That's
causing to
right.
your skin.
Excellent.
So when we buy products that's marketed as good for your skin, well, whose skin is it good for? Whose skin was it tested on?
Right.
Yeah. Now there are many different types of skin. So when we're grabbing products because the packaging looks amazing, the packaging looks, how many of us, not me, but how many of you have bought lipstick because it looks
of course.
Wonderful.
That's marketing. Yeah.
That's right. That's
100%.
Yes.
The packaging and how it sounds and the messaging.
Yes. One of this is
absolutely.
that we're getting away from the fact that all of the ingredients in your skincare products are drugs. Everything in there is a drug that causes a change on the surface of the skin. And changing the surface of the skin, meaning we're changing the pH level of the skin, we're changing the microbiome or the bacterial flora of the skin. Right? We're changing the acidity level of the skin. We are making tremendous changes on the skin. How does the body react to that? If you have an abundance of melanin, dark skin, or even if you're light with a little bit of melanin, melanin will go to the surface of the skin where there's trauma. Types of trauma, there's the sun, which is obvious. That's the UV radiation. But we also have trauma from chemicals. Microchemical burns that damage the skin, that ages the skin, and so the body sends melanin up to the surface of the skin to protect that layer. What is it about the melanin that most individuals may not love is the differences in the color.
Yeah, with discoloration.
Yes, discoloration. If you're darker, hyperpigmentation. So when you see one area is a little darker, the center is a little lighter, the forehead has a little darkness, all of that is melanin production. And the more severity the chemical burns from the skincare products, the darker the melanin, the more abundance the melanin. And so we're reducing that beautiful luminosity of the skin because we are inadvertently damaging the skin with hyperchemical applications on the skin. There's no reason you need to wash the face twice a day, 3 times a day.
No.
For example, when you wake up, Jasmine, you wake up, you're gonna hit the shower, you go in the bathroom, you look at the mirror. Why do we wash the face after waking up? The pillowcases are dirty. You're sleeping on the floor. Your skin is not dirty. The face is not dirty. It doesn't need soap. It doesn't need chemicals. It just needs a splash of water to wake you up. You pat it dry. Moisturizer, sunblock, makeup. If that happens, it's simple, but it doesn't make money for the billionaires, right?
So the skincare industry is a multi-billion dollar.
Unbelievable.
It's one of the biggest industries. People don't even know that.
100%.
Absolutely.
And it's designed that way. So one of the things I instruct and teach my patients and my clientele is it first starts with skin health at home.
That's excellent.
If you have a cut on your arm, you're not going to throw 10 different chemicals on that wound to try to fix it. What happens? It gets worse. So we don't want too much chemicals on the skin. That's the first place to start. The second place is seek professional help. Come to someone like myself. Most dermatologists, but seek someone that can assist you with the type of skin you have. Estheticians are amazing at this. The type of skin you have, and then what is the best product for your skin. If the esthetician has 1 or 2 brands in the entire office, that's not a good sign.
That's
because
interesting.
1 brand or 2 isn't for everyone.
It's a good question for women to ask. I wonder, like,
absolutely,
how many women actually ask those questions?
That's right. And if you're offering this brand to me, how many people use this brand, and for what purpose are you offering the brand to my skin? Well, it's going to neutralize your skin, and it's going. How do you know? Did you test my
These are
skin?
all promises. Could be
That's
there.
right. So it's all visual diagnoses of the skin, and inherently we're in the skin.
I love it. I love how you start with home care. Is first, because I think it sounds to me like it has a lot to do with taking accountability, being educated and being aware first.
I love that you said educated.
So would you say maybe a smart thing to do, like a practical thing to do? Because I'm guilty of it too. You have no idea how many bags of products I have. It's ridiculous. I'm like, I should throw them all out. It's ridiculous. But would you say a practical thing? Because I have a lot of my watchers and listeners too from Beverly Hills, right? So these women know skincare, but I wonder whether you would say that maybe they should go through their products at home, right? And kind of strip them down. Is that,
Absolutely.
is that,
100%.
am I wrong? Or, yeah.
100%. I would divide the skincare products that you have at home.
Yeah.
Put a pile that was bought 5 years and longer. Second pile that's 1 to 5 years.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then another pile that's just 1 year. Everything that's 1 year old needs to go in the garbage.
1 year old.
Why? Because the potency of that product isn't there anymore.
Just like medicine, right?
That's right. And the marketed vitamin C or the marketed main ingredient isn't as active anymore. So what happens is we just put in inner chemicals on the skin that's doing nothing. So when the expiration date, also throw away the products that don't have an expiration date. How long has it been in the truck, in the parking lot, in CVS before it gets to your home? It could be 1 year or 2 years.
That's true.
So and skincare products are really expensive. I'm a guy, I don't use
They're
skincare
very,
products.
very expensive.
But sometimes a lipstick is $50.
I know, it's ridiculous.
Unbelievable. Yes. So those 3 piles, and of those 3 piles, you're probably going to be left with maybe 2 or 3 skincare products. Take those skincare products to your medical provider and ask, are these products good for my skin? If they don't have the right answer, or they don't seem to have a great answer, try to push additional products on you, then you just need to find someone else who can answer this question.
Yeah, that's excellent. Okay, let's talk a little bit about what you do, and the kind of the approach, because some women may fear what you do in a sense of they don't know enough about it, right? They don't know enough about this practice, and like you said, there's multiple steps to this, right? You talked about home care first. I think education. We both are educators.
Yeah.
We both completely agree on that, right?
Yeah.
So there's a very important education piece, self-education, the right education, right? But then the third piece is really understanding what the process may be for a woman. Let's take a woman in her 30s or whatever, right? She's starting to see some wrinkles. She's starting to go into interviews or sell her services, and she's starting to get some negative reactions, right? And she's thinking, oh my God, like, am I old? But she's not old. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But
how should she approach something like, what is this that you do for those women that don't know, and how could she arm herself with questions when she comes into a service like this?
So first of all, what I do, I don't just sell Botox and fillers.
No. Yeah.
I treat the entire individual. So a lot of what I do make sure that client leaves my office confident about themselves, their skin, and their appearance. If anything, that's what I sell. So what I do, I remove the things, or for lack of a better term, I fix the things that you cannot fix.
Right.
I remove the lines that you cannot remove. I smoothen the skin, soften the skin, make the skin thicker when it needs to be thicker. So what I do is rejuvenation services for the skin, non-surgical, enhancing your natural beauty by using the angles and the shapes on your face.
Right.
Also that you had prior, if you're looking to shave a few years off. When you're going on an interview, you will not go with a wrinkled blouse.
No, you wouldn't.
Wrinkled pants.
Nope.
What makes the skin that different? It doesn't. Now, this is age discrimination. If someone has lines in the face, no. It is what you represent yourself as. If you want to present to me on an interview with lines, I'm not talking about individuals who cannot afford. There's a difference.
Agreed.
If you have the financial ability to, and if you're a warrior woman
and you're a warrior woman who's a professional,
that's right,
who has high goals,
that's right, you would make sure that your presentation is on point.
Absolutely.
So individuals who can spend $400, $500, $600 on a hair
can
absolutely afford a little bit of Botox to soften and smoothen the skin. That takes away that additional thing for someone to discriminate against.
I love that point. I just want to interrupt you if you don't mind. I love the point where we started was talking about the products at home. We talked about the expense of these products, I know, right? We all know. And then we're talking about possible expenses of things that rejuvenate and drive beauty, right? So I love that you said, you know, if you can afford X, you can afford Y, right? So if you can afford buying all these products, I don't want to name any brand skin names at all on this podcast, but if you can afford to buy these thousands of dollars a year, I know because I've done
Thousands a year, absolutely.
thousands and
Absolutely.
thousands and thousands.
Botox is a fraction of that
thousands
cost.
and thousands of dollars a year on creams and potions and lotions that say they can get rid of wrinkles or plump things up or whatever they say, right? Versus getting an education and then doing something doctor treated.
And can I interrupt?
Because I love that you said, I'm sorry, but I love
Yes,
that you said
absolutely.
that. Because that's what people don't realize.
Listen,
you
if
know?
you're buying a skincare product to remove fine lines and wrinkles,
Yeah.
that's what Botox does. So where's the disconnect where, well, I want to remove this using a cream that doesn't work, that's going to cost me $70, $150, or
That's right.
$200, as opposed to doing something that we all know works.
They say it works, and they say things like, well, you have to wait 6 weeks, 8 weeks,
3
12
months,
weeks,
4 months, but you're hoping that you forget
And
and
then
it
you're-
stays on your
that's
countertop
right.
or your bathroom and you're going to the
If
next
you
product.
understand marketing,
That's
you
right.
know these things.
That's right.
Yeah,
And the
it's a
product,
shame.
the product you have bought that you're
Yeah.
no longer using, but you've replaced with another product, is all owned by 1 or 2 companies. So
That's
you
an
really-
excellent
There you go.
point. That's right.
you know. So it's the thing is, what I'm trying to convey is take control of your visual aging. Take control,
Take control of it,
how
yeah.
you age. Today we have the medical technology to do that. Our parents didn't have that. So
No,
but we have that ability to look our best when we want to be. And if you are pushing for the top, then you have to do everything to your advantage to get to the top.
yeah. So it's funny, when I started, I think it was before I even started Warrior Women in Business, when I had this JSM personal branding package service, I don't know what year that was, maybe 2011, 2012. We had a branding package for executives because they said, we want to feel our best, we want to look our best, we want to get out there. So it wasn't just branding. We would bring in stylists, and makeup, and hair. And I think what you're saying is so poignant and important, is if you want to make money, you want to go for the gold, you have to invest in yourself,
100%.
right? And your business. And I think that's really important.
100%. If you invest in your, for example, I had a friend recently ask me, or he was actually telling me that I should invest in this, I should invest in that. And I have to say, my best investment in my entire life was investing
In yourself, 100%.
I have given myself
100%.
1,000 times more than
Yeah.
what any property or what any stock can give me.
Mhm.
Case in point, if you look your best, it's not just a visual cue someone has, but it's the aura, the ambience of yourself
You feel better.
that you're giving to someone and people around you. Do you know how many women say, if I don't have any lights, I feel good about myself in the morning, but they also treat their husbands, their boyfriends, their significant others, they treat them nice.
Because they're happy.
Because they're happier about
Absolutely.
how they feel about themselves.
Yes. And everybody should feel great about
And of course you
themselves.
feel- Yeah, I give happiness. I treat them, you ask me what is that, that's what is. So everyone surrounding the individual who's getting work is actually benefiting from the work that we do.
Yeah,
And that's why we have to do an honest job, always.
I love it. So 2 things I want to talk about. So one is I know that you educate the patients, right? But you also do some education for other providers, right? Can you
Correct,
talk about
correct,
that?
correct. So we have a company for the past 5 years called Injectable Coaching Institute. And what it is a full comprehensive training institute that gets medical providers into the field of medical beauty, medical aesthetics
Okay.
on the right path, meaning how to inject, what products to
Yeah.
inject, where those products should be injected,
Yeah.
the anatomy of the face, which is super, super important.
Yeah, absolutely.
The science behind the products that are being used. Not all fillers are the same, even if it's under the same brand.
That's true.
Not all Juvederms are the same, not all Resinins are the same, not all products are the same of the same brand. So Injectable Coaching Institute is one place that I find I give back to medical practitioners who are looking to continue the love they're giving to their patients.
And are they, so give an example if you don't mind. Is it in a hospital? Is it a private clinic?
So Injectable Coaching Institute is really here. It's in our medical spa.
I mean, the
So we
partners
train
that you work with.
we train individuals in our spa along with our clientele.
I see.
So it's a real time training.
Okay.
Meaning you're not just studying books and answering quizzes and you get a certificate. You know, you're literally treating other patients and seeing and understanding what their treatment does.
Wonderful. That's really great. So you're based in New York City, but that could go anywhere.
That can go anywhere. We
can
have
go anywhere
injectors
because there's medical offices everywhere.
every state. We have injectors from Alaska, California,
Wow.
you know, who are coming for training and who understands the necessity for proper training. Again, I've been doing this for 20 years. There's no one doing this longer than me.
Yeah.
You know, when Botox came out 2003,
Of course,
that's
I
when
came
it
to the
started.
source. So talk about, I mentioned in the preview to this podcast that Carl is writing a book. So
Yes.
talk a little bit about what you're planning on doing. Where are you with the book? What's the reason and purpose for the book?
So the book crosses 3 genres.
All right.
It's got to be complicated. It crosses 3 genres, which is
No, it makes sense.
it makes sense. It's a short period memoir. Basically, it talks about where I came from.
Okay.
You know, landing in this country in 1989 with the crack epidemic.
Oh.
17 years old. You know, coming here virtually by myself. So it's a short period memoir mixed with an instructive medical aspect, and it's also expository, meaning that it gives you instructions within the medical beauty field as to questions you should ask, what you should be aware of,
So
what
important.
happens in the
No.
That's right. And the
And
more
if I think they knew, then they probably would feel more at ease.
absolutely,
And I
you'll
think
feel
so
more
important.
at ease
Yeah.
getting the work done.
Right.
And knowing that you have the right questions to ask and that you know what's going into your body
Right.
and what to expect
Yes.
and what not to expect.
That is so important.
Absolutely.
So where is the how? When you expect it to
the
come
book,
out? Or
it
where?
should debut early fall.
All right.
Yeah, we're working some kinks and doing
Working hard on it.
Working some kinks and doing the final editing. But yes, early this fall it should be out. And yes, I just have to say it will be. There's nothing else like this book on the market today. There's nothing else like this book on the market. I have.
Do you think this book would fall more in the medical or more in the beauty category?
So it doesn't fall heavy
Because
on the
it's
medical. Yes.
Okay.
It's a medical instructive, but it's a
It's more of a
narrative.
patient or more.
It's a narrative form with
Yeah.
with stories about treatment,
Okay.
about patient encounters,
Yeah.
but also
So either audience.
either audience. So
Mhm.
injectors are gonna love this book.
Right. Exactly.
Clients are gonna love this book. And it's really targeted for the individual who is serious about their beauty, about their aging, and what to expect, what not to expect going forward in the medical beauty industry.
I love it. So it's not a question of as you're aging and you're looking to become a real warrior woman, a successful person. It's not a question of if I should think about doing this. I think it's just a matter of when.
It's
I really do.
Yeah.
I really do.
Listen, I have 18-year-old